juice and dairy molasses is expected to be 123 crore liters and 196 crore liters. 123 went out of juice? Expected. Okay. Which has indicated earlier translated into a diversion of 2.1 billion tons. Yes, higher for me. Oh, right. This is wrong. So there's some traction on the 2.1 diversion. Pramod will brief you later. On an average, country has a blending ratio of 7%, with 11 major states achieving a blending of 10%. Therefore, we are on course to meet our target of 10% blending countrywide. In this segment, we also witnessed significant positive news flow on account of proactive measures taken by the central government. On the World Environment Day in June, Honorable Prime Minister preponed the target of 20% ethanol blended petrol by 5 years to 2025. This will not only help government save foreign exchange of about more than 30,000 crore liters, but will move the country towards a greener fuel. In addition, it will greatly benefit the farmer and the sugar miller by providing a major source of sustainable alternate income. Also, pilot basis of 3 petrol pumps have been initiated supplying 100% ethanol fuel. This will open up a much larger long-term structural opportunity for the industry. Coming to our company's performance, we have registered subdued performance for the quarter, mainly on account of lower cane crush and lower sales going to lower quotas. While this is a non-operational quarter, we have booked all our O&M expenses in the PL. Further, as you are aware, when we crushed lower cane last year, the impact of that comes in April and May, because that is the crushing which does not happen. So this is a one-off case where the sugar season had a short run and we are able to catch up in the ensuing season. And when we take you through our expansion plan, we'll tell you of our cane development initiatives also. The distillery segment continued to deliver robust profits owing to high volumes. I'm happy to share the Board of Directors has approved a 6th consecutive buyback for the company for an amount not exceeding 215 crores through the open market operation through the exchanges, in line with our policy of distribution of profits to the shareholders. In the past, promoters had always participated in the buyback, but under the proposed buyback, the promoters for the first time decided not to participate. Post successful completion of a buyback, this would result in raising the promoter stake in the company. The board has also accorded its approval for expansion of distillery at Balrampur from 160 to 330 KL and at Buleria from 160 to 200 KL, which means a further augmentation of 210 KL in our distillation capacity. With the Mirzapur unit already under implementation, which is 320 KL. So 520 existing, 320 Mirzapur, 210 fresh, we go to 1050 KL, and we hope to commission this by November 22 itself, the entire all expansions, which will result in giving us a capacity of about 35 crore capacity to make ethanol in the season beginning November 22. Consequently, this would lead to doubling our distillation capacity, and we would be running all 3 products, juice, B-heavy, and a very little of C-heavy, and thereby diverting a large portion of surplus sugar. In addition, the board has also approved modernization of sugar plants at some locations, with setting up of refineries also at a couple of locations. This will help us to sweat our assets better, crush a higher quantum of cane in a reduced time. This will also give us a higher feed availability of feedstock for our distillery, which is B-heavy and juice, which would match and help us produce our envisaged 35 crore liters. This is including the grain. This will also lead to economies of scale both in the sugar and distillery segment. Given the positive structural changes in the industry dynamics, we continue to allocate capital judiciously, generate strong cash flows, and keep rewarding all the stakeholders from time to time. I'd now like to hand over the floor to Pramod to take you through the financials.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. As very detailed PPT presentation has already been uploaded on the website of Stock Exchange as well as the company website, wherein all financial performance, including the quantitative details, have been given. So, for the benefit of having a larger portion of time at our disposal for Q&A session, we would not like to repeat the financial numbers as such. We can straight away go ahead with the Q&A session. I would now request moderator to take it forward accordingly.
Hello.
So maybe open the lines for questions now.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who has a question may press star and one. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question is from the line of Sanjay Manyal from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Just have one question. After this capex, would it be safe to assume that you would be able to divert 10% of your sugarcane towards the juice and probably 75 to 80% towards the heavy?
Yeah. So, Pramod, what is that target?
After this expansion, around 11% of cane is expected to be diverted
To juice.
through juice route.
And DAP?
DAP would be around 75%.
Right. Yeah, you got the numbers absolutely right.
Right. Sir, another thing which I would like to ask you, in last con call you mentioned about the new variety you would be introducing. So, in the upcoming season, what would be the percentage of your catchment area or the sugarcane crushing which you envisage basically will be from the new variety?
Okay. So just let me, since this question will arise, just let me take you through both the cane and the expansion of sugar, because distillery, I guess, is well understood. So on the cane, let's understand the truth. East is in actually disadvantaged area. So we will be working very, very double hard because we are deploying capital into we have capital into machinery and, refurbishments, and for which we will not only be taking a variety but a large program of disease management also. So the new variety which you're talking about is 118. There are other new varieties also coming up, and gradually I think about more than 1/3 will go to the new variety this year, and it will multiply thereafter. And probably go even higher, maybe 60-70% when we begin our crushing for the expanded program. Plus, we are going to ensure that with a slew of disease management measures, whatever is there will also get managed. So our call is that, we crushed about 875 this year. We are targeting 10 next year, and hopefully we will do a delta of about 10 to 15% beyond that in 22, which will help us utilize all our assets to the fullest. In sugar, what we've done, even though technically there is no expansion, but there is an inbuilt daily crushing improvement. Because our 3 old plants were, they were very old, and their daily crushing was not matching up to the rated capacity. So we have refurbished it, and we've just got the permission, we'll refurbish it so that daily crushing capacity will get to our rated capacity. Because of the 3 plants grinding lower year on year owing to machinery which needed replacement, is being done at one go.
Right.
With that, we will also be unleashing measures which will improve recovery in these plants, plus put up refineries which will give us a higher realization on sugar. If you see, refined sugar sells at 75 to 80 rupees higher than the regular sulfitation sugar. So we are going to ensure that we produce sugar at the lowest loss, which means at a higher recovery from the factory, We sell the sugar at the highest best possible realization owing to higher percentage of refined sugar. We improve our capacity utilization on a daily basis. We work hard on cane so that our entire cane comes to a quantity which not only feeds the sugar plant but gives us enough byproduct for our distillery utilization. So this program has been unleashed holistically together with a massive cane development program also to ensure that whatever we are doing converges at one go in November 22, the beginning of which you will see in the ensuing season is our hope.
Right. Perfect. So just one last thing I want to ask about our overhead spends, because what I understood that this year we have that means the freight costs have been from last 2 years freight costs have been higher because of the exports, and probably this year we means because of some accounting the numbers are higher. So just want to understand how the trajectory will be going ahead in terms of our freight spends or other overhead spends.
Pramod will answer that.
Sanjay, in my view, this has direct connection with the export quantity. If we don't get ourselves engaged in physical export, then there won't be any incidence of transportation expenses or freight expenses as far as sugar is concerned. But
Right.
you can notice that our distillery volume is going up, so that transportation cost will continue to increase in accordance with the volume of alcohol.
Right.
So that gets debited on the debit side of the profit and loss account, and whatever we get reimbursement from the oil marketing companies, that gets reported under revenue from operation.
Right.
Just to explain this thing further, the government, if you've seen, has started rationalizing the transport given to us for the ethanol. So if there was a loss of, let's say, 1 rupees 25 paisa from our pocket, the loss will come down to 1 rupee.
Right. Understood. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Before we move to our next question, we would like to request participants to limit their questions to 2 per participant. Time permitting, you may come back in the queue for a follow-up question. Our next question is from the line of Kaustubh Pawaskar from Sharekhan by BNP Paribas. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Sir, considering quarter one disruption because of the lower cane availability and the lower crushing, so what will be the overall crushing you're expecting for FY22?
Around 9.5 crores quintal.
FY22, which is the season to go now. So it's our target is closer to 10 crores.
That is for sugar season.
Sugar season, no, balance sheet item.
Sugar season, 10 crores is the target. For balance sheet, it is around 9.5 crores.
Okay. And sir, for last 4 years, we have been seeing that the SAP prices have been remaining stable. So considering next year's election, and if there is a change in the government, can we expect SAP to go up?
So see, let me give you our expectation on the entire policy front, and Pramod, this is just our expectation based on government's past conduct. So I'm just qualifying to everyone that this is born out of the government's last 4, 5, 6 years conduct. So what the government does, I'm talking of the central government, they take up the MAEQ, which is the export quantity. They decide on the subsidy to be given. So they first decide the quantity and the subsidy. Then they also decide the MSP, that is the minimum selling price. Then they also decide the ethanol price based on FRP. So basically the sense and the feeling is that with the ensuing UP elections, state government might raise the price, though in a very reasonable way. And again, this is born out of our CM's conduct, Honorable CM's conduct. Even in the central election year, he did not raise the cane price. The FRP is pending, the MSP is pending revision from over a year, and we are hopeful that, for the fact that they won't want arrears over the country and in UP, We are hopeful for a revision thereof. MAEQ also, we are, as per past conduct, hoping for a repeat of the same quantity. Depending on the export price, the quantum of subsidy might be lower. So the quantity may be 60 lakhs, the subsidy may be lower. All in all, if there is a cost escalation, our basic feeling in-house is, if there is a cost escalation, it should get covered by the improvement in realization.
Okay. And so, what is the MSP, improvement you are expecting? Because in the presentation, it has been mentioned that 32 to 33 is what the expectation is. So you are expecting on that line?
So right now we are selling at 34 today as of now. And we are hoping that in the time to go ahead, we should be able to keep the price. Hopefully price should stay here at current year.
Okay. No, my question was on MSP. What is the expectation over there?
That's MSP.
Minimum.
So
Yeah.
MSP currently is 31. The government is, last request was about 33, 34. 33.
Okay. And so one last question on the ethanol front. As you said that the production capacity is almost doubling by end of November. So in that context, what will be the production expectations or capacity utilization from from FY23 and 24? What will be the capacity utilization you are expecting?
So we are hoping for this closer to 10 to cross 11 and a half, and that's where we will be able to utilize our capacity fully, and that's what we are working on.
Okay.
11 and a half crores cane crushing.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that.
And see for what? Right.
Sir, you may continue. Sorry about that.
And basically, our idea, as we said, is to crush this 11.5 crores within April, so that the quantity of cane doesn't reduce. The moment you take farmer in East UP beyond May, he starts receding on cane plantation. So if you crush it within April, you get your best recovery. Maybe first week May at best. Our quantities are therefore planned to crush that quantity, and that's where the daily capacity utilization has been improved. And we have, as promoters, walked our talk and not participating in the buyback, just to put in our little bit of confidence in this program on the table in front of everybody.
Thank you. We'll take a next question from the line of Rajesh Mazumdar from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir, and thank you for taking my question. Sir, I had a question regarding the cane availability. Basically, all the steps that we're taking regarding our distillery expansion, etc., is contingent upon a larger amount of cane, and you have already elucidated the measures you've been taking on improving the cane yield and new varieties, etc. However, one question that has always bothered me is that why is the largest player in the industry not trying to get additional cane area from standalone mills, which are not able to expand distillery capacity, and is content with a 4% market share? Is there something which constrains us from getting additional cane area under this method?
In our efforts, we continue to pursue what you have said also. These are nitty-gritties, which hopefully you should leave to us. So we are leaving no stone unturned, is all we can tell everybody. Including
yeah. Basically, we're just happy with the 4% market share being the largest player. And I'm sure there are many smaller mills which are not able to expand into distilleries because of financial constraints or whatever. And are we not looking at them seriously in terms of acquisitions?
So instead of trying to acquire somebody and crush 50-70 lakhs cane in that factory, we want to increase our cane by 2 crore quintals and use it in this facility only. So it's like almost buying 2 factories, and said, so there is a program. One should wait to see how it's unleashed. The rationale we put threadbare on the table, both in our presentation and hopefully in our talk right now. we do continue all the efforts in all directions.
Okay. So my other question is regarding the refinery. What we understand is that very few refineries globally are able to make money, and that too we are an inland-based plant and not port-based. So, given the dynamics of the sugar refinery business,
Let me
how are
explain
we?
refinery.
Yeah.
No. Let me explain the refinery. The refinery within the factory, within the sugar factory.
Mm.
So if you make refined sugar within your factory, you sell at a higher price in India. So there's no port-based nothing. It is within Balrampur refinery is being set up. It is but within Kumbhi one unit that refinery is set up. So there is no movement outside the factory area to put up any asset.
Okay. So in that case, we have to create a new brand for ourselves in terms of the refined sugar business.
Higher selling price is the target for the sugar made. Pramod, bata dikhe.
Yes, this refined sugar fetches a higher price in comparison to the normal white plantation sugar.
In India itself.
हाँ तो उसमें additional खर्चा क्या होगा basically to build the brand etc. What are the kind of return on investment that you're looking at in terms of the refined sugar business?
So it's very difficult to pick up parts and pieces. We've indicated a payback of about 3.5 years for our entire investment.
Okay.
And some part of it was essential for long-term, fairness and viability and operational peace of mind.
Right. And the total outlay on just the refined sugar business is how much? The total outlay on just the refined sugar part?
We'll have to get back to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a next question from the line of Akhand Pratap from Yes Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Akhand Pratap, could you please unmute your line and go ahead with your question? There seems to be no response from this line. In the meanwhile, we'll take our next question. That's from the line of Achal from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, sir. You said that all these expansions will be done by November 22. So FY23 will be like partially utilizing this. But if I have to ask you, sir, FY24, assuming everything is normal, and as per the plan, with respect to external factors, what would be the cane crushing and consequently the sugar production volume? How much sugar are we planning to kind of divert, eventually in FY24? And what would be the production at the distillery, in the distillery segment?
So basically, see what we've said is we want to achieve about 11.5 crores cane crushing, 35 crore ethanol volume. That should be the sustainable model going ahead. That is the program for which all the assets, cane development, distillery, sugar expansion is being put up.
Right. What I'm trying to figure out, you did say that 11% juice diversion and 75% B. But I was just curious to know, in terms of what would be the sugar volume in that case, and how much of that would be the refined sugar, so to say, which can have a 75-80% higher realization.
Actually, on the basis of program which has been just discussed over here, we expect sugar production in our company will be in the region of around 11 lakh tons. Once this 11.5 crores quintal of cane is available for crushing, we will be producing 11 lakh tons of sugar and 35 crores of ethanol, including EM.
Understood. My second question, this is a theoretical question. You are probably the only company which is kind of embarking on this on an aggressive way. But What is the theoretical possibility in terms of the capacity we can go up to in the distillery segment if the policies are favorable?
We just told you 35.
No, that is the current plan, sir. I mean, I'm just saying theoretically, can this become 55 crore liters? Is that a possibility one can look at, even though the probability could be far less, but still a possibility?
You have to put on more assets for that, not here. So with the current investment, this is 35 would be this current investment is good for the quantity of cane and the quantity of distillery which I said. Anything more will require new investment.
A new investment in the sense, the cane crushing as well, right?
Yeah. So the feedstock, I've told you, is the 11.5 crore around quintal of cane, so that you can make 35 crore liters of ethanol.
Understood. And any thoughts on the grain-based ethanol? And if not, could you give us a sense, your perspective on the same? Why not?
Grain to be possible.
At Mijapur, we would be producing around 5 crores liter of ethanol out of grain.
Yes, I understand. I was more asking from a standalone grain-based ethanol, given the possibility of government looking at far more aggressive expansion in that segment.
So, having invested so much capital, let's wait for the results and see how things play out, and then tomorrow is open for further investment in grain, if that's what you're asking.
Right. Okay. So you're not averse to grain-based ethanol, so to say, on a standalone distillery basis.
Out of the 35, 5 would be grain. So if we were averse, we won't do it.
Fair point. And can you help us understand what is the status of this? Currently we are bearing the extra freight cost for the ethanol we are supplying to depots. So what is the current status? The government was supposed to kind of rework that. Is there any update on that, sir? And what is the gross freight and how much are we getting reimbursed? And what is the net impact?
Actually, that has been adequately disclosed in the presentation, the gross amount as well as the realization and the net impact. Recently, government has policies have modified the rate, and on that basis, we are expecting a further recovery of around 14.5 paisa per liter. We are in touch with all marketing companies for further rationalization.
Understood. This is very helpful, sir. I'll come back in the queue for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Archit Joshi from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot, sir, for the opportunity, and Pramod ji, a very detailed presentation. Thank you for that. Sir, it's a little muddled up in my head about what you said earlier about achieving a 35 crore ethanol production number. And the sugar production number is also not materially different from what we are producing right now. While we know that there is some amount of crushing capacity that will be provisioned for manufacturing ethanol in the new distillery, wouldn't increasing the capacity of the distillery unit from 520, from 840 to 1050, wouldn't we require more sugar cane crushing to manufacture the incremental ethanol that we are targeting, which will subsequently lead to a lower sugar production from the 1.1 million tons that we are targeting right now? So if you can just explain what kind of sugarcane crushing capacity would we have after all the modernization and improvement projects are done, and how much will we be able to crush sugarcane only for sugar manufacturing for the 1.1 million tons that we have said?
So I think this is a detailed calculation Pramod will have to explain to you. But basically understand, if the quantity of cane is rising, your availability of molasses is rising. Two, if you are diverting juice, you are taking a hit on the recovery. Our envisaged recovery will be much higher than last year's recovery itself. So it's a detailed calculation. So what we've told you will match down once you can do offline with Pramod. It's a very detailed calculation.
Sure. I'll take it with Pramodji offline. So just one last question. In the presentation on page 41, we have mentioned in the fourth row that the sugar recovery pre-B-heavy diversion, it appears to be lower than the sugar recovery that is post-B-heavy diversion. Am I missing something here? It's usually the other way around, right? I mean, after you divert more molasses towards B-heavy ethanol, your sugar recovery should typically drop, which is not being represented over there. Please help me understand that. Thank you.
Just a minute.
Actually, you should look at the graph which is there after 2 slides. The figures have been actually swapped by mistake, pre and post. So if you look at page number 2 pages subsequent to there, on slide number 42, right numbers are there.
Just 41 is a mistake, you're saying? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. Well caught. So there's been a bit of a mistake. So you
Sure, sir. Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Thanks. Sure, thank you. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Manish Ostwal from Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a question on ethanol, our ethanol business. So, sir, when the country reach 25% blending, our unit profitability in ethanol will remain the same, and what are the variables to change that unit profitability?
I mean, I didn't get your question.
So my question is, sir, when the country reach 25% blending by 2025, our unit profitability in ethanol business will remain the same, or it can change? And if it change, what are the variables for change?
Nirmalji, first of all, the target as of now for 2025 is 20% net, not 25%.
Yes.
And if the country is able to produce that much of ethanol, that means there will be a significant conversion of sugar into ethanol, which will take away around 6 million ton of sugar from the system. That itself will result into sugar prices going up from its normal level. As far as Balrampur Chini is concerned, we have indicated that post expansion of all these facilities, distillery revenues could be in the range of 35 to 40% of overall revenue. And profitability will again be going up. The proportion of profitability from distillery segment will go up.
Okay, sir. And the second question is, what is the current projection on our return capital employed for ethanol business, sir?
It depends whether we use C route molasses, B route molasses, or the juice route. We have given an indication that all these CapEx will have a payback period of around 3.5 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Bhavin Chheda from Enam Holdings. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Vivek. Good afternoon, Pramod. Very, very good presentation covering all the aspects of the industry and the company. So just on the peak potential number, what you spoke about, cane crushing 11.4 crore quintals, which will allow you to do a distillery of 35 crore liters. So should we expect fiscal FY24 you will be able to do it since your expansion is getting over in November 22?
Yes.
Okay. And the number which I missed out was in distillery 35 crore liters, 75% would be B heavy and 11% would be juice based and balance C heavy, right?
No, that percentage was with respect to the cane. Now, within 35 crores, 5 crores will be out of grain base and 10 crores will be out of juice.
5 crores grain base and 10 crore juice.
And 2 to 3 crores C, rest B heavy.
2 to 3 crores B heavy and balance C heavy.
Right.
Okay. And when you do that, what would be the power generation number and sales? It would be billion units, right? You're not doing anything on the power capacity. So I was doing the previous peak power generation was 1 billion units and sales of 66 crore units. So what that number would be?
That is the history now. We have taken a conscious decision not to operate our cogen plants during off-season, subsequent to the revision in the tariff.
We only operate off-season plants to be able to run our distillery. The consequent export of power is the export.
Understood. So which means the fiscal 21 number I should take as normal peak potential. You did 80 crore generation and 40 crore sales, 42 crore sales. So that run rate would continue going into future, right?
More or less 2-3 crores here and there.
Yeah, but when Mirzapur commissions,
something will.
yeah, so we are also commissioning a power plant in Mirzapur.
Yeah.
Because
So it will improve from here.
But 2-3 crore units here and there.
Maybe a little more. We'll get back to you.
Okay, no major difference. Okay. And what would be your capex distribution between 22 and 23?
Sorry?
What would be your capex for fiscal 22 and fiscal 23?
The significant portion will come.
So by November 22, we would have completed the entire capex.
Sure.
And it would largely come in March, April March, April to November would be 70%, let's say 75%.
So we are not planning to raise any debt within March 22.
Okay. So annual 200-250 crore on this.
Yes, that's it. That's a good thing.
Okay. And currently export subsidy is 4 rupees, right?
Yes.
That is till September 30.
Yes.
After that, there is whatever the government announces. And you said your export, new policy. Export NSR currently, without accounting for any subsidy, comes to 34 rupees a kg.
No.
At 18.5 cents for UP-based mills, raw sugar would be around 30.5.
30.5.
30.5. Okay. I think in opening statement you said export NSR 34, so that is including subsidy.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Pratik Thulia from Elara Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and so thank you so much for a very, very detailed presentation. Must compliment Pramod sir and his team for, after reading the presentation, there are very few questions actually that we are left with asking. But I just wanted a couple of clarifications. Firstly, sir, just, wanted to get your thoughts. You mentioned in your opening comments that, the MSP is set for revision since last 1 year, but that has not happened. And despite that, the prices are NUHS now at 34. So, do you feel that, government is now kind of, slowly coming out of this intervention that they had given to the industry as a support mechanism a few years back? Because now for export, we don't need so much of government help, and even domestic prices have started to firm up as the, volumes are, as the production is going down due to diversion. So what are your thoughts, when do you expect that the, industry will become more self-sustaining and all these government interventions, which were definitely needed 2-3 years back, will not be, so much significant in the coming years or in coming quarters? How do you look at the government, this support mechanism going forward?
Good question. So we, as I just went on break, Pramod said at some point industry might sacrifice 5 to 6 million tons in sugar production. So when your net production comes and your consumption in 2 years would grow, so our view is if consumption goes to 275, 80 and production gets there in the next 2 years through these various mechanisms, you exhaust any kind of surplus and come down to a 6 million closing stock. I think that's when the measures go off, is the anticipated view. Having said that, currently one should not read into any incident to assume that the measures would go off. So the price, MSP, etc. revision is on the cards, and I'm hopeful it would happen. So
Sure.
let's understand this. MSP means Maharashtra pricing. UP sells at least 2 rupees premium.
Okay. Okay. Right. And also my question was a fairly longer termish only, that maybe going forward the government. Yeah.
I said 2
Sorry?
years from now.
2 years from now. Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And just one last thing on the PPT, just maybe just a small clarification. For the fourth quarter, we have projected a much lower volume of ethanol to be supplied at around 2.44 crores versus contracted of 3.38. So any specific reason why we will be supplying lower quantity in the fourth quarter?
That is on the basis of contract which we have already committed for the ongoing season.
So in December, from December begins the new contract. So tender of which usually gets released in September, October.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get that.
That quantity will be over and above than what has been stated in the
So from December, when you start crushing in November, from December, a new season's ethanol offtake begins. That has not been included by Promot because no contract has been signed.
No, I'm talking about the ethanol quarter only.
In November.
Yeah, quarter 4 which ends in November. Yeah.
Yeah, that will end in November, and new contracts will kick in from 1st of December.
Right. So that's what I'm asking. So fourth quarter, as per your presentation, will be the September, October, November quarter. And for that, you mentioned 2.44 crore liters versus your contracted of 3.38. So you're supplying lower than what you've contracted, it seems.
Yeah, because we have supplied early. If you see the second quarter 2, we have supplied 104% of what we.
Yes. So in the quarters gone by, we have managed to increase our supply beyond the proportionate quantity.
Fair enough. Understood.
Whatever has been contracted will be supplied. To just sort of tell you that.
Understood. So is there any provision to exceed the contracted volumes also? If suppose whatever you contracted, can we exceed that as well in this?
Raw materials, huh? We don't have molasses. We contracted for all what we have.
Fair enough. Okay, sir. Understood, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Ashutosh Chaubey from Centra Advisors LLP. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity. I have a few basic questions, first of all, with regards to the entire sugar sector. I would like to understand that this, starting with the sales quota mechanism, why is it usually lower in the first quarter?
So usually, it is not very easy to get into quarter, as we said in the result. If you see over a year, things will play out. Since we produced lower also, it is logical to get a lower comparative release, no?
Okay.
So that's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so you're saying that usually over the 4 quarters that numbers would play out eventually, right?
Yes. So yeah.
Okay. So this is due to lower crushing, because crushing starts on November and it gets ended in somewhere in February, March, I guess?
No. Last year got ended early April. So that's why if you produce a total quantity which is 100 units and you get release of 25 units per quarter, so if your 100 units went down by 17%, your releases go down, no?
Yeah. Okay. So this is this could be one of the reasons why usually in the first quarter the company reports lower reduced profits in the sugar and cogen segment, right?
No. If you see the comparative quarter last year, the profit wasn't lower. This year, because crushing hasn't happened, your profit is lower.
Okay. So this is sort of a one-off event, right?
Yes, one-off. We said that, yeah. So in the next year, if you crush 10 plus, you will not get this problem.
Okay, understood. So one more thing I would like to understand is the inventory movement that is happening from the quarter ended 31st March and this quarter that you have. I can see that in your P&L it is you have an inventory movement happening of around 660 crores. I would like to understand this figure. Like, how is this movement, inventory movement happens?
I think for that you need to have a separate discussion. It's very difficult to give breakup on the call.
Okay. Okay, understand. I'll get back to you for that. I think that'll be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Samay Sabnis from Pareto Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So on page 41 of your presentation, the cost of production in this quarter is 42.73 per kg, which has risen from 30.42 kgs in the same quarter last year. So the selling prices of sugar is within 31 to 34 per kg. So are we expecting segmental losses in sugar going forward? And what is the reason for the sharp rise in the cost of production?
Okay. So this is only an accounting entry. As we have said earlier also, cane crushing was on the lower side, as a result of which only 5 lakh quintals of sugar were produced during this quarter, as against 22 lakh quintals last year. So that because of that, the incidence of cost of production
get compounded on 5 lakh bags instead of 22 lakh bags.
Yes.
And that is the reason for the lower profitability of the quarter.
Okay. So then, going forward, what I understand is we don't expect losses in the sugar segment.
No question.
Okay. And what was the reason for the lower cane crushing? Because in the March quarter, the crushing was fine, I believe.
We've explained that at length. Floods, some diseases, lower yields.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. That's from my side.
Thank you. That was the last question. I now hand the floor back to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us on our call, and should there be any more clarifications, we are always there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the management. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Balrampur Chini Mills, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.